let's start with the first topic, right? So why, right? So this is like more often I hear that when any customer comes, right? So why we're not going with the traditional approach of, let's say, having even starting with the simple virtual machine on AWS, for example, EC2. Why can't we run the load on that, right? Or maybe for making it more complex, let's say Docker containers or Kubernetes and whatnot, right? So why we're not going to why we're not architecting that way? Why serverless? So this is an important question to be answered. I believe like many of people from the audience also is curious to know why we should go with the serverless. I'll hand over to Kiran. Kiran, why you think like serverless is maybe a need of an hour? Maybe uh,
Oh,
what your experience tells you?
yes, Praveen. Yeah, mainly, yeah, this is the main question that everyone will be asking. Like whenever they start project, why actually will be going? What is the need of serverless, and why can't we go with the traditional approaches like infrastructure as a service? So those kind of things, which was a classic way of going. Mainly, the thing is, whenever we start a project or whenever we plan the estimates for a project, so along with the development, we give almost some percentage of effort, mainly for the infrastructure provisioning and infrastructure maintenance and all that. And even it costs to the vendor and even it costs to the client. So in every aspect, actually, that infrastructure is a separate task that where we need to consider. And along with that, capacity planning is one more thing. So these are all actually incurs a lot of effort. So for that, actually, we can go with a kind of a cloud vendor where different cloud providers provide actually managed services. But again, there was a in the coming slides I'll be explaining that also. Like why actually what is the difference between managed services and why now we are telling about serverless. So when we say managed services are serverless, so that will reduce the infrastructure operational overhead actually where
Mm-hmm.
the development team is facing. So that the development team or the project team, they can focus on the important things that needs to be delivered based on the requirements, and they can just relax, and so that the cloud providers can will take care of infrastructure maintenance, provisioning, and all that actually. So this is in both terms for managed services and serverless, but there is a quite difference between these two. But still, there is actually serverless will be one edge over managed services. Like serverless, the main thing is the billing. So pay the cost for that particular bill. So that is the main thing, like where it will not charge for the idle times. So that will save a lot of cost. So that is the main thing. So with this serverless approach, we don't need to worry about creating servers. We don't need to worry about creating or installing the softwares for the runtimes like Java, Python, Node.js,
Right.
PHP, or anything. And we don't need to worry about scaling things like managing auto scaling things and all that. And similarly, security part, like any security patches that needs to be updated at the OS level or anything, this actually serverless architecture will take care of. The word actually serverless is confusing to everyone, that they'll think that many people still when they come and ask me, like serverless is like there is no server, but it is not like that. Still there is an underlying server, but it is not visible to us, and that will be managed by cloud provider completely.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good point. So basically, even like if I connect back, right? So recent case study, like recent product we launched for one of the companies. So the time to market was pretty quick. So we within 2.5 months we had like first version, and that is being used by
Yeah.
big companies like Twilio
Okay.
and White Pages, and that is like having 400 QPS per kind of a queries that we are performing. That
Okay.
is the API product. But yeah, that reminds me like again, like if I compare right with the Kubernetes approach, that will going to take a lot of time from the DevOps people for the
Correct.
infrastructure provisioning, right? And managing
Correct.
it is on a headache. So yeah, definitely a lot of advantages for sure.